My fiancé said, "This place is basically mine now. You should start paying rent." I didn't smile. All right. I went quiet. Pulled out something she'd never noticed before. Left it where she'd have to see it. I'm 33, been living in my house for about 7 years. Bought it as a foreclosure. Spent 2 years fixing it up myself on weekends and evenings. It's nothing fancy, but it's mine. 3 bedrooms, decent yard, quiet neighborhood. Paid it off completely last year, which felt like a huge milestone for me. I met my fiancée about 1.5 years ago through a dating app. She seemed great at first, funny, ambitious, had her own career in marketing. We clicked immediately, started seeing each other regularly. About 8 months in, she mentioned her lease was coming up and rent was going crazy in her area. "I'm looking at paying like $1,800 for a studio," she said one night while we were having dinner at my place. That's insane. Tell me about it. I don't know what I'm going to do. I should have just sympathized and moved on. But I was in that honeymoon phase where everything feels right and you want to help. You could move in here, save that money, put it toward something useful. Her face lit up. Are you serious? Yeah, I mean, we're together all the time anyway. Might as well make it official. That would be amazing, are you sure? Yeah, I'm sure. She moved in 2 weeks later, brought her furniture, her dishes, her decor, started rearranging things immediately. I didn't mind at first. Actually liked having her around, having someone to come home to. She paid for groceries sometimes, picked up takeout here and there. Never gave me rent money, but I hadn't asked for it either. About 3 months in, I started noticing changes. She'd invite people over without checking with me first. Her friends would be in my living room when I got home from work, like it was the most natural thing in the world. Hey, you should have texted me you were having people over, I'd say. Why? It's my place too. I know, but it's just courtesy to give a heads up. You're being controlling. That word, controlling. She started using it more and more whenever I expressed any preference about my own house. Then came the bigger changes. She wanted to repaint the living room, replace my couch, get rid of furniture I'd had for years because it didn't match her aesthetic. This is a shared space now, she'd say. We should both get input. But I already had the house set up the way I like it. And now I live here too. My opinion matters just as much as yours. I started noticing she'd make decisions without asking. I'd come home and find my bookshelf moved, my pictures taken down and replaced with hers, my tools relocated in the garage because she needed the space for her storage bins. You can't just rearrange everything without talking to me, I said, after finding my gaming setup had been dismantled and boxed up. I needed room for my desk. I work from home sometimes, remember? So do I. That's why I had that space set up. Well, now it's my office. You can use the guest room. The guest room doesn't have the same setup. Then set it up there. God, why do you make everything such a problem? Last week was when things really escalated. I got home from work around 6 to find her on the couch with her laptop, surrounded by papers and folders. Hey, I said, dropping my bag by the door. We need to talk about something, she said, without looking up. Okay, what's up? I've been thinking about finances, about how we split things. All right. I don't think it's fair that I'm contributing to groceries and utilities but not getting any equity in the house. I sat down in the chair across from her. What do you mean, equity? Like, I'm paying into this place, but I don't own any of it. That doesn't seem right. You're not paying rent. You're just helping with bills. Same difference. I'm contributing financially to the household. Contributing to bills isn't the same as paying mortgage or building equity. I paid for this house. I fixed it up. It's mine. She finally looked at me. That's a really selfish way to look at it. How is it selfish? I bought this house years before I met you. And now we're engaged. What's yours should be ours. We're not married yet. And even when we are, this house was purchased before the relationship. It's separate property. Wow. So, you're already planning for our divorce? That's romantic. I'm not planning for divorce. I'm just being realistic about asset ownership. She closed her laptop with more force than necessary. You know what? Fine. This place is basically mine now anyway. You should start paying me rent. I just stared at her. What did you just say? You heard me. This place is basically mine now. You should start paying rent. Rent? For my own house? Our house. And yeah, if you're gonna be weird about equity, then we should treat this like a landlord-tenant situation. I'll be the landlord since I'm the one actually taking care of this place. You've lived here for 5 months. And I've completely transformed it, made it actually livable. It was perfectly livable before you got here. It looked like a bachelor pad. Now it looks like a real home. You should be thanking me. I didn't argue, didn't yell, just looked at her for a long moment and said, "All right." She blinked. "All right what?" "All right, I'll think about it." "There's nothing to think about." I said, "I'll think about it." I got up, went to my office, the one she'd tried to take over but I'd reclaimed, and closed the door. Pulled open my filing cabinet, found the folder I kept all my property documents in, the deed, the title, the mortgage records showing final payment, and something else, something I'd kept but never shown her because it never seemed relevant. A prenup draft. My lawyer had drawn it up 3 months ago when I'd mentioned getting engaged. I'd never shown it to her because I wanted to wait for the right time to bring it up. Didn't want to seem like I didn't trust her. But I also had something else in that folder. Security camera footage and purchase receipts. See, about a month after she moved in, I'd installed cameras around the house. Not in private spaces, just the living areas, the garage, the entryways. Did it for security initially, but they'd captured some interesting things. Update 1. That night, I didn't sleep much, just kept thinking about what she'd said. This place is basically mine now. How do you even respond to that? It's not basically hers. It's not remotely hers. It's my house, that I bought, that I paid off. The next morning, she acted like nothing had happened. Made herself breakfast, got ready for her day, kissed me on the cheek like we hadn't had that conversation the night before. "I'm meeting my friends for lunch," she said. "Probably won't be back until dinner." Cool. You're being weird. I'm being quiet. There's a difference. Whatever. We can talk more about the rent thing later. After she left, I went back to my office. Started pulling security footage from the last few months. Watched at double speed, looking for specific moments. Found them pretty quickly. Her telling her friends on camera that the house was basically hers now, and that she was working on getting my name on everything. Her mother visiting, and her giving a full tour saying, "This is my house," over and over. Her on the phone with someone talking about how she'd locked down a good situation and just needed to make it official. I backed up all the footage to 3 different drives: cloud storage, external hard drive, USB stick. Then I made an appointment with my lawyer for Monday morning. Saturday, she wanted to go furniture shopping, said the bedroom set needed updating. "I'm not buying new furniture," I told her. "Why not? That bedroom set is ancient." "It's 4 years old." "It's fine. It's hideous. And if we're going to be married, we need furniture we both like." "I like it fine." "Well, I don't. And since this is my house too, I get a say." "Your house." "Our house." God, you're so possessive about everything. "Because it's my stuff. In my house." Not for long. That made me look up from my phone. What does that mean? Nothing. Just that once we're married, it'll be legally ours, not yours. Actually, since I owned it before marriage, it stays separate property unless I add you to the deed. Which you will, because that's what people who love each other do. "No, I won't." Her face changed. Went from annoyed to something harder. "You're really going to keep me off the deed of my own house?" "It's not your house. You moved in 5 months ago. You don't pay rent. You don't pay mortgage. You sometimes chip in for groceries. That doesn't make it your house. I've put work into this place. Rearranging furniture isn't work." I've made this place a home. It was already a home. My home. She stood up, grabbed her purse. I'm going out. Don't wait up. She didn't come back until after midnight. I was still awake, reading in bed. She got in next to me without saying anything. Where were you? I asked. Out with friends. For 7 hours? Why, you tracking my time now? Just asking where you were. Maybe I needed space from my controlling fiancé who won't even let me feel at home in my own house. Again, not your house. She turned away from me, pulled the blanket up. Whatever. We'll see what a lawyer says about that. And that's when I knew for sure. She was already thinking about divorce before we'd even gotten married. Already planning how to claim half of everything. Update 2. Monday morning, I met with my lawyer. Brought my folder, my documentation, everything. So she's claiming the house is hers? He asked after I explained the situation. Says it's basically hers. Told me I should pay her rent. He laughed. Not a polite chuckle, an actual laugh. She does know you own it outright, right? Yeah, she knows. She just seems to think that because she lives there, she has ownership rights. She doesn't, at all, especially since you're not married yet. Even if you were married, property owned before marriage is separate unless commingled. That's what I thought. Has she contributed financially to any improvements? Major repairs, renovations, anything documented? No. She buys groceries sometimes, moved furniture around, that's it. Then she has zero claim. None. If anything, she's a tenant at will, which means you can ask her to leave with proper notice. How much notice? Depends on your state, but usually 30 days written notice since there's no lease agreement. And the prenup? He slid the document across the desk. This is solid. Protects all your premarital assets, keeps debts separate, outlines property division. If you want to marry her, I strongly recommend you have her sign this. And if she won't? Then I'd seriously reconsider marriage. Someone who's already claiming ownership of your house before the wedding is going to be a nightmare after. I took the prenup, thanked him, and drove home. She was there when I got back, working on her laptop at the kitchen table. Where were you? She asked. Had some errands to run. On a Monday morning? Yeah. What kind of errands? Just stuff I needed to handle. She closed her laptop. You're being secretive. I'm being private. There's a difference. This is what I'm talking about. You're always so closed off. We're supposed to be partners. Partners are honest with each other. I am honest with you. Are you? What's that supposed to mean? I pulled out my phone, opened the security footage app, turned it toward her. Showed her the clip of her telling her friend the house was hers, that she was working on getting her name on everything. Her face went white. You're recording me? I have security cameras. For security. They record everything in the common areas. That's an invasion of privacy. In my house, where I'm allowed to have security cameras, no, it's not. You can't just, I can, and I did. And now I know exactly what you've been telling people, that this is your house, that you're working on getting ownership, that you've locked down a good situation. She stood up. You're twisting my words. I'm literally playing back your exact words. I didn't mean it like that. How did you mean it then? I was venting to my friends, talking big. It didn't mean anything. It meant enough that you told me I should pay you rent in my own house. That was a joke. Didn't sound like a joke. She started crying, the tactical kind, where you can tell it's more about manipulation than actual emotion. I can't believe you're doing this. I thought you loved me. I thought you loved me too, not my house. That's not fair. None of this is fair. I gave you a place to live rent-free. You took that generosity and tried to claim ownership. Now you're mad that I'm protecting what's mine. What's yours? It's always about what's yours, isn't it? Never about us. There is no us if you're trying to steal from me. I'm not trying to steal anything. Then why did you say you're working on getting your name on everything? She didn't answer, just stood there crying, mascara running down her face. I'm going to my mom's, she finally said. I need to think. Take your time. She grabbed her purse and keys, walked out. Didn't come back that night. Update 3. She stayed at her mom's for 3 days. Sent me a few texts about needing space, needing to figure things out. I didn't push, just waited. On day 4, she came back. Let herself in with her key, found me in the living room watching TV. Can we talk? She asked. Sure. She sat on the couch, left space between us. I've been doing a lot of thinking. About us, about the house, about everything. Okay. I think I got caught up in the idea of us building a life together, and I forgot that you built this life before me. This house, everything in it, it's yours. Okay. But I still think if we're going to get married, we need to be equal partners. And right now it feels like you have all the power. Because I own the house? Because you own everything. The house, the furniture, the cars. I came into this relationship with nothing compared to you, and it makes me feel less than. I never treated you like you were less than. I know, but I felt it anyway, and I think I tried to overcompensate by claiming space that wasn't mine to claim. That's a fair assessment. She looked at me. Are you going to forgive me? I don't know yet. What do you need to know? I pulled out the prenup from where I'd left it on the coffee table, slid it toward her. What is this? A prenuptial agreement. My lawyer drew it up. She picked it up, started reading. Her expression changed as she went through the pages. This says everything you owned before marriage stays yours. That's correct. And any debt I have stays mine. Yes. And if we divorce, I get nothing unless we were married for 10 years or more. And even then, it's only a percentage based on a formula. That's the standard arrangement. She put the papers down. You really don't trust me at all, do you? Trust is earned, and right now, you haven't earned it. Because I said some dumb things to my friends? Because you told me I should pay you rent in my own house? Because you've been planning how to get ownership of my property since you moved in? Because every conversation we have about the house ends with you calling me controlling when I'm just trying to protect what's mine. I thought marriage was about sharing everything. It is, but it's also about respecting what each person brings to the table. I'm not asking you to sign away your rights. I'm asking you to acknowledge that what I built before you isn't automatically yours just because we're getting married. She stared at the prenup for a long time. And if I don't sign it, then we don't get married. So it's an ultimatum. It's a boundary. Sign the prenup or we end the engagement. Your choice. She stood up, still holding the papers. I need to think about this. Take all the time you need. But until you decide, I need you to start looking for your own place. You're kicking me out? I'm asking you to find somewhere else to live. I'll give you 60 days. That's more than enough time. You're really doing this. I really am. She looked at me like I was a stranger. Maybe I was. Maybe I'd always been a stranger to her, just a guy with a house she could claim. Fine, she said. I'll find a place. And I'll think about your prenup. That's all I'm asking. Update 4. She started looking for apartments that week. Spent her evenings scrolling through listings, making calls, scheduling viewings. Didn't talk to me much during this time. We existed in the same space like roommates who didn't particularly like each other. 2 weeks in, she found a place. 1-bedroom apartment about 20 minutes away. Decent neighborhood, decent price. She signed the lease, gave them a deposit. I'm moving out next Saturday, she told me over dinner one night. Okay. You're really just okay with this? With us living apart? I think it's necessary right now. Because of the house thing. Because of the trust thing. The house is just part of it. What else is there? The way you tried to manipulate me, calling me controlling every time I set a boundary. telling your friends one thing and me another, the rent comment. All of it added up to me not trusting you. So, that's it? We're done? I didn't say that. I said you need to move out and we need space. Whether we're done depends on what you do next. The prenup. The prenup is part of it, but also just being honest, being respectful, not trying to claim things that aren't yours. She nodded slowly. I can do that. We'll see. Moving day came. Her friends helped her pack up her stuff, load it into a truck, took most of the day. I stayed in my office, let them work. When they were done, she came to say goodbye. I'm taking the couch, she said. The one from the living room? Yeah, I paid for that. No, you didn't. I bought that 3 years ago. Well, I helped pick it out. You moved in 5 months ago. That couch has been here longer than you have. God, you're so petty about everything. It's my couch. You can't just take it. Fine, I'll buy my own couch. Add it to the list of things you won't share. She left, slammed the door. Her friends gave me dirty looks as they carried the last boxes out. I didn't care. The house felt empty after they left. But it was a good empty, clean, mine again. Final update. It's been 2 months since she moved out. We've seen each other a handful of times, always in public places, always brief. She still hasn't signed the prenup. Keeps saying she needs more time to think about it. Last week, her mom called me, asked if we could talk. I agreed to meet her for coffee. She's miserable, her mom said after we sat down. I'm sorry to hear that. Are you? Because you seem fine with how things turned out. I'm not happy she's miserable, but I'm not going to apologize for protecting my assets. She made mistakes. She knows that. But you're holding this prenup over her head like a punishment. It's not a punishment. It's a legal agreement that protects both of us. It protects you. She gets nothing if you divorce. She gets to keep everything she came into the marriage with. Same as me. That's fair. But she came into the relationship with so much less than you. And that's not my fault. I worked hard for what I have. I bought that house when I was 26. Fixed it up myself, paid it off. That's mine. If she wants property, she can buy her own. Her mom looked at me like I was being unreasonable. You really don't see how this is unfair. What's unfair is her trying to claim my house after living there for 5 months. What's unfair is her telling me I should pay her rent in a property I own. What's unfair is her planning how to get her name on my assets before we even got married. She was just talking. She was plotting. There's a difference. Her mom sighed. So what happens now? She signs the prenup and we get married, or she doesn't and we don't. It's that simple. You'd really throw away your relationship over a piece of paper? I'd throw away a relationship with someone who sees me as a meal ticket rather than a partner. The prenup is just the test to see which one she is. I haven't heard from either of them since that conversation. The engagement ring is still in my dresser drawer. The wedding planning has completely stalled. Our mutual friends have mostly stopped reaching out, probably taking sides behind the scenes. I'm 33, single again, I guess, living alone in my house. The house that's mine, that I paid for, that I don't have to share with someone who tried to claim it. I'm not happy exactly, but I'm at peace. And sometimes that's more valuable than being in a relationship that makes you feel like you're constantly defending what's yours. Last week I got a certified letter from her lawyer, demanding compensation for improvements she made to the property while living there. Itemized list including furniture rearrangement, decor purchases, and design consultation services. My lawyer laughed when I showed him. Said we'd respond with our own itemized list of rent she owed for 5 months of living there rent-free. That shut down that angle pretty quick. I don't know if we'll get back together. Part of me hopes we will, hopes she'll come around and realize the prenup is reasonable. But a bigger part of me is fine if we don't. Because I learned something important. Someone who loves you won't try to take what's yours. They'll build something new with you instead.